mother was a brilliant actress, still is. Her talent came forth, and she's had a phenomenal career.
With her iconic expressive eyes and her portrayals of often unsympathetic characters, Davis invested her entire being into her art. Her 10 Oscar nominations attest to her talent beyond mere beauty. However, Davis's journey towards recognition was fraught with hardship. Through 4 marriages, defiance against powerful studio figures, and a legendary rivalry with Joan Crawford, she navigated a tumultuous path. These revelations, brought to light by her daughter, unveil the haunting depths of Bette Davis's existence. Let's start the video to discover the dark truths of Bette Davis. Bette Davis's daughter begins her mother's story with a revelation about the dark secrets of the early years of her career. She said that her mother seemed destined to elicit strong reactions from those around her. It was as if her very presence sparked a debate among the spectators of her career, polarizing opinions like 2 opposing magnets. Some saw her as a force to be reckoned with, while others found themselves put off by what they perceived as her confrontational nature. This divisiveness was evident early on when the Manhattan Civic Repertory Theater, a prestigious New York theater troupe, delivered a surprising blow to Davis by rejecting her. Their decision was based not on her talent, but rather on their perception of her demeanor. They deemed her attitude as frivolous and insincere, a verdict that likely left Davis both bewildered and frustrated. Little did they know, they were dismissing one of the greatest actresses of all time, perhaps blinded by their own biases or inability to see beyond surface impressions. Yet Davis was no stranger to adversity. Throughout her entire career, she grappled with the unforgiving beauty standards of Hollywood. Despite possessing undeniable beauty, she fell short of the idealized image of a screen siren according to the industry's gatekeepers. This harsh reality hit her hard. One particularly poignant incident encapsulates the essence of Davis's struggle against these standards. Upon her arrival at an airport, presumably to meet with a studio head, she found herself overlooked and disregarded. The executive, tasked with picking her up, failed to recognize her presence simply because she didn't fit his preconceived notion of what an actress should look like. In his eyes, there was no one present who embodied the allure of a leading lady, completely oblivious to the fact that Davis was standing right before him. Raised in an environment where affection seemed scarce and expectations rigid, Davis found herself navigating the delicate balance between societal norms and the tumultuous dynamics within her own family. From a young age, Davis was confronted with contrasting parental figures. Her father exuded an aura of detachment, his emotional distance creating a palpable void within their household. Conversely, her mother epitomized the archetype of primness and religiosity, instilling in Davis the values of virtue and restraint. It was an environment where conformity was prized, and deviation from the prescribed path was met with disapproval. In this atmosphere, Davis internalized certain beliefs about relationships and womanhood. She learned that good girls adhered to societal conventions, saving themselves for marriage and dutifully fulfilling their roles as wives. However, the tumultuous nature of her parents' marriage served as a stark counterpoint to these ideals. Rather than a harmonious union, Davis witnessed a tableau of discontent and discord, where 2 individuals seemed locked in a perpetual struggle for happiness. The dissolution of her parents' marriage brought relief rather than sorrow to Davis. The oppressive atmosphere that had hung over their household lifted, allowing her to glimpse the possibility of a life unburdened by the constraints of a troubled relationship. Yet the scars of her upbringing ran deep, leaving an indelible imprint on her perception of love and marriage. Raised in an environment marked by strictness and emotional detachment, Davis entered into matrimony with her high school sweetheart, Harmon Nelson, seeking solace and stability in the arms of love. Yet, the reality of marriage proved to be far removed from the idealized visions of wedded bliss. Davis's union with Nelson quickly unraveled, revealing the cracks beneath the surface of their relationship. Nelson, known colloquially as Ham, wielded control with an iron fist, his demeanor veering from domineering to downright cruel. For Davis, who had yearned for love and companionship, the harsh reality of her husband's behavior shattered the illusions of marital harmony. The strain of their tumultuous relationship was further compounded by the trauma of 2 pregnancies, each ending in a heartbreaking and perilous decision. In a time when reproductive rights were a distant dream and societal norms dictated a woman's autonomy, Nelson's callousness reached its peak as he demanded that Davis abort the baby. For Davis, these harrowing experiences were not only emotionally devastating, but also physically perilous, navigating the treacherous waters of reproductive health in an era fraught with danger. In the unforgiving landscape of 1930s Hollywood, Bette Davis found herself cast adrift in a sea of rejection and criticism, her dreams of stardom eclipsed by the harsh realities of the entertainment industry. Enduring a barrage of disparaging remarks about her appearance, Davis grappled with the relentless scrutiny of Hollywood's beauty standards, each rejection serving as a painful reminder of her perceived inadequacy. One particularly bruising encounter occurred during a screen test, where Davis, desperate to make an impression, dared to deviate from her usual demure demeanor. Clad in attire deemed more alluring, she sought to captivate the attention of director William Wyler and the film crew. However, instead of admiration, Davis was met with derision as Wyler openly mocked her attempt at seduction, his words cutting like a knife through her already fragile confidence. His dismissive remark, "What do you think of these dames who show their chests and think they can get jobs?" served as a stinging indictment of Davis's perceived lack of talent and appeal. Carl Lemmel Jr., the chief of production, further compounded Davis's anguish with his callous comparison of her to Slim Somerville, her gawky male co-star. His disparaging assessment reduced Davis to little more than a punchline, highlighting the inherent sexism and prejudice entrenched within the industry. Faced with a string of failed auditions and dashed hopes, Davis found herself teetering on the brink of despair. The prospect of returning to New York, tail tucked between her legs, loomed ominously on the horizon. Yet, just when all seemed lost, fate intervened in the form of an unexpected opportunity. The role of a deaf pianist in The Man Who Played God offered Davis a glimmer of hope amidst the darkness of her despair. Armed with determination and a steely resolve, she seized the opportunity with both hands, pouring her heart and soul into a performance that would redefine her career. Bette Davis's daughter said her mother also had a very famous feud. The legendary feud between Bette Davis and Joan Crawford, 2 titans of Hollywood's golden age, is a tale steeped in intrigue and animosity, fueled by ambition and rivalry. Yet the origins of this bitter enmity lie in a seemingly innocuous event that would set the stage for decades of simmering tension and mutual disdain. In the hallowed halls of Universal Studios in 1933, plans were afoot to anoint Bette Davis as the next big thing in the world of cinema, heralding her ascent to the pinnacle of stardom. Anticipation hung in the air like a thick fog, the excitement palpable as Davis's star seemed poised to ascend to dizzying heights of fame and adulation. However, fate had other plans in store, as Joan Crawford, ever the master of dramatic timing, chose this precise moment to steal Davis's thunder with a bombshell announcement of her own. On the very day that Universal Studios intended to trumpet Davis's arrival as Hollywood's newest sensation, Crawford swooped in like a raven, casting a shadow over Davis's moment of glory. Imagine the scene. Bette Davis, brimming with anticipation, eagerly reaches for the morning paper, her heart aflutter with anticipation. Yet, instead of finding herself emblazoned across the front page in bold, triumphant headlines, she is greeted by the news of Joan Crawford's impending divorce from the illustrious Douglas Fairbanks, Jr. In a cruel twist of fate, Crawford's personal drama commandeers the spotlight, relegating Davis's momentous announcement to a mere afterthought. The sting of this betrayal cuts deep, igniting a firestorm of resentment within Davis's heart. For the first time, but certainly not the last, Crawford's Machiavellian machinations succeed in eclipsing Davis's star, leaving her seething with frustration and indignation. The newspaper, complicit in this act of treachery, consigns Davis's grand announcement to the shadows, relegating it to a minuscule paragraph buried within the confines of the reviews section. Bette Davis's daughter said that her mom's capacity to hold a grudge was as legendary as her talent on the silver screen. Even decades after the dust had settled, she clung fiercely to the bitterness of past slights, nursing her grievances like cherished relics. One such grievance etched deeply into the corridors of her memory was her failure to secure the coveted Oscar for her portrayal in the adaptation of Somerset Maugham's seminal work. The wounds inflicted by this perceived injustice festered within Davis's soul, refusing to heal with the passage of time. In her memoir, she bared her soul, recounting the searing disappointment she experienced when the golden statuette slipped through her fingers, eluding her grasp like a fleeting dream. The loss cut to the core of her being, igniting a fiery indignation that burned with a ferocity unmatched by any mere mortal. In the aftermath of her defeat, whispers of scandal and conspiracy permeated the hallowed halls of Hollywood, casting a shadow of doubt over the integrity of the Academy Awards. Rumors swirled like a tempest in a teacup, alleging impropriety and malfeasance in the voting process. Davis herself stoked the flames of controversy, insinuating that the outcome had been tainted by bias and manipulation. In addition, according to Bette Davis's daughter's revelation, her mom's battle against the constraints of her Warner Brothers contract is the stuff of Hollywood legend, a tale of defiance and determination that would leave an indelible mark on the landscape of cinema. Bound by the shackles of her contractual obligations, Davis found herself ensnared in a legal quagmire, her ambitions stifled by the iron grip of studio bureaucracy. When Warner Brothers issued a stern injunction demanding her return to the USA, Davis refused to yield to their demands without a fight. Unwilling to surrender her autonomy and artistic freedom, she made the bold decision to take her employer to court, embarking on a legal odyssey fraught with uncertainty and peril. Initially, Davis's gambit seemed destined for failure, as the scales of justice tipped against her with resounding finality. The courtroom became a battleground, where Davis waged a valiant struggle against the forces aligned against her, only to suffer a crushing defeat that threatened to extinguish the flame of her aspirations. Yet, true to her indomitable spirit, Davis refused to accept defeat as the final verdict. In a stunning display of resilience and resourcefulness, she transformed her setback into a triumph of epic proportions. Rather than succumbing to defeat, she seized the opportunity to negotiate with Warner Brothers from a position of newfound strength, leveraging her status as a formidable talent to secure a more favorable outcome. In an embarrassing revelation, Bette Davis's daughter opens up about her mother's love triangle. The tempestuous love triangle that unfolded on the set of Dangerous encapsulated the volatile dynamic between Bette Davis, Joan Crawford, and their dashing co-star, Franchot Tone. As the flames of passion ignited, the sparks flew, setting the stage for a drama that would rival any Hollywood blockbuster. In the midst of filming, Davis found herself irresistibly drawn to the suave and sophisticated Franchot Tone, whose charm and charisma bewitched her like a moth to a flame. Yet, their burgeoning romance was overshadowed by the specter of Crawford, who had already laid claim to Tone's heart. Undeterred by the complexities of Tone's existing relationship, Davis threw caution to the wind, unleashing the full force of her allure and charisma in a relentless pursuit of her co-star. Despite being a married woman, Davis spared no effort in her quest to win Tone's affection, her heart ablaze with a passion that defied convention and consequence. However, Crawford, ever vigilant and fiercely competitive, refused to cede ground to her rival without a fight. Sensing Davis's growing influence over Tone, Crawford orchestrated a swift and decisive move to secure her hold on him, pressuring Tone into a hasty engagement while the cameras rolled and the world watched. The announcement of Tone and Crawford's engagement cast a shadow of bitterness and resentment over Davis, forcing her to witness the triumph of her rival on the very set where she had dared to dream of love. Davis's heartache and despair were palpable as she watched the newly betrothed couple bask in the glow of their newfound happiness, a poignant reminder of the depths of her unrequited longing. In the aftermath of this emotional turmoil, Davis vowed never to forgive Crawford for what she perceived as a betrayal of the highest order. And the saga of Joan Crawford and Bette Davis's feud reached a fever pitch at the 1936 Oscars, where their simmering animosity erupted into a spectacle of Hollywood drama and intrigue. As the stars descended upon the glittering ceremony, tensions crackled in the air like electricity, fueled by resentment and rivalry. Davis, harboring doubts about her chances of victory, initially balked at the idea of attending the ceremony, resigned to the belief that she would leave empty-handed. In a defiant act of rebellion against the studio heads who coerced her into attending, she deliberately selected an outrageously unflattering gown, intending to send a message of defiance and disdain. However, fate had other plans in store for Davis, as she found herself thrust into the spotlight as the recipient of the coveted Best Actress trophy. In a cruel twist of fate, she was forced to ascend the stage and accept the accolade clad in the very gown she had chosen as a symbol of her defiance, her triumph overshadowed by the garishness of her attire. Yet, as Davis stood poised on the brink of victory, Crawford seized the opportunity to deliver a devastating blow to her rival. With a calculated precision worthy of a Hollywood femme fatale, Crawford struck with ruthless efficiency, delivering a cutting remark that reverberated through the hallowed halls of the Oscars. In a thinly veiled dig at Davis's perceived lack of femininity, Crawford proclaimed triumphantly that Franchot Tone had chosen her over Davis because he never viewed Davis as a woman, but merely as a talented actress. The barb struck home with devastating force, casting a shadow of doubt over Davis's victory and reigniting the flames of their bitter rivalry. In 1937, Bette Davis had firmly cemented her status as a bona fide A-lister in the cutthroat world of Hollywood, her star burning bright amidst the glitz and glamour of the silver screen. Yet, as her career soared to dizzying heights, the tumultuous currents of passion and desire threatened to engulf her in a whirlwind of scandal and intrigue. During the filming of The Great Lie, Davis found herself irresistibly drawn to her charismatic co-star, George Brent, their on-screen chemistry igniting sparks of forbidden desire that smoldered beneath the surface. In a whirlwind of passion and intensity, Davis and Brent embarked on a torrid affair, their hearts entwined in a tempest of longing and ecstasy. Brent, captivated by Davis's allure and magnetism, fell head over heels in love, his ardor spurring him to take the ultimate leap of faith and propose marriage to his enchantress. However, Davis, ever the enigmatic siren, declined his advances, choosing instead to forge her own path unencumbered by the constraints of matrimony. Yet even as one affair fizzled into oblivion, another flame ignited in its wake, propelling Davis into the arms of yet another paramour. With a sardonic smirk and a twinkle in her eye, Davis embraced the whirlwind of passion and tumult that defined her love life, heedless of the consequences that lay in wait. In 1938, Davis embarked on a cinematic odyssey that would forever alter the trajectory of her career and personal life. Cast in the lead role of Jezebel, directed by the enigmatic William Wyler, Davis found herself drawn to the magnetic allure of her director, their connection sparking a conflagration of desire that consumed them both. As they navigated the treacherous waters of forbidden love, Davis and Wyler found solace and companionship in each other's arms, their affair blossoming amidst the chaos and drama of the film set. Their passion burned with an intensity that defied reason, their love affair a testament to the volatile nature of desire and the intoxicating allure of forbidden fruit. During the filming of Jezebel, Davis found herself inexorably drawn to the enigmatic charm and magnetic presence of Wyler, their connection transcending the boundaries of mere professional collaboration. In Wyler's company, Davis discovered a kindred spirit, a soulmate whose artistic vision resonated deeply with her own. As they delved into the depths of their respective characters, Davis and Wyler forged a bond that surpassed the confines of conventional affection, their hearts entwined in a tapestry of passion and longing. Amidst the swirling chaos of the film set, their love affair blossomed like a rose in full bloom, its fragrance intoxicating and irresistible. Yet, their burgeoning romance did not escape the watchful eye of the Hollywood gossip mill. Hedda Hopper, the formidable gossip columnist, seized upon whispers of Davis's supposed affair with her leading man, Henry Fonda, fueling speculation and scandal with her incendiary allegations. According to Hopper, the intensity of Davis's gaze in certain scenes of the film betrayed her true feelings for Fonda, suggesting a clandestine romance brewing beneath the surface. However, as is often the case with gossip, reality proved to be far more intriguing than fiction. In a twist worthy of a Hollywood screenplay, it was revealed that the object of Davis's affection was not her co-star, but rather her director, William Wyler, who stood just beyond the camera's lens, casting a watchful eye over his leading lady. Disappointed by Wyler's failure to take the next step in their relationship and propose, Davis grappled with a sense of disillusionment and heartache. In the shadows of her disappointment, she faced an even more daunting challenge, an unexpected pregnancy that threatened to disrupt the delicate balance of their affair. Faced with the prospect of motherhood in a tumultuous and uncertain world, Davis made the difficult decision to quietly terminate the pregnancy, a choice tinged with sorrow and regret. Yet even as she navigated the painful aftermath of her decision, the rift between her and Wyler continued to widen, exacerbated by their inability to communicate openly and honestly with each other. Davis, ever the enigmatic enigma, adopted a facade of aloofness and detachment in a misguided attempt to attract Wyler's attention, playing the role of the cool girl in a desperate bid for his affection. Yet her efforts only served to push Wyler further away as he struggled to penetrate the emotional walls that Davis had erected around her heart. Meanwhile, Wyler grappled with his own demons, his attempts to bridge the divide between them thwarted by Davis's reluctance to open up and let him in. As their relationship spiraled into a downward spiral of miscommunication and misunderstanding, the cracks in their foundation grew wider until they see. The last thing Bette Davis's daughter revealed was about her death. In 1989, as she graced the stage of the American Cinema Awards, a stark reminder of her enduring legacy, fate dealt her a cruel blow as she collapsed, her body betraying the ravages of a resurgent cancer. The diagnosis cast a pall of uncertainty over her future, yet Davis faced her illness with the same steely resolve and indomitable spirit that had defined her illustrious career. Undeterred by the specter of mortality looming on the horizon, Davis embarked on a journey to Spain, where she was honored at the prestigious San Sebastian International Film Festival. Despite her failing health, her presence radiated with the same luminous grace and charisma that had captivated audiences for decades. Yet as the days passed, her strength waned and her condition deteriorated rapidly. Too weak to endure the arduous journey back to the United States, Davis sought refuge in France, where she found solace in the quiet serenity of the American hospital in Neuilly-sur-Seine. Surrounded by loved ones and well-wishers, she bid farewell to the world she had so profoundly influenced, her spirit unbroken even as her body succumbed to the relentless march of time. On October 6, 1989, Bette Davis took her final bow, her passing marking the end of an era in Hollywood history. Yet, her legacy endured, is a testament to the timeless allure of her talent and the enduring power of her indomitable spirit. As the curtain fell on her extraordinary life, Davis was laid to rest in the hallowed grounds of Forest Lawn Hollywood Hills Cemetery in Los Angeles, alongside her beloved mother Ruthie and sister Bobby. On her tombstone, a simple yet profound epitaph bore witness to the essence of Davis's remarkable journey. She did it the hard way. These words, suggested to her by Joseph L. Mankiewicz shortly after filming All About Eve, encapsulated the essence of Davis's life. A life lived with unwavering courage, unyielding determination, and unparalleled passion. What do you think about what Bette Davis's daughter revealed about her? Leave us your comments in the section below. We hope you have found this helpful video. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you like it. Thank you for watching this, and see you in the next videos. Goodbye.